Welcome to You're Not the Boss of Me. If you are determined to break glass ceilings and build it your way, this show is for you. I'm your host, Beth Graves, and I am obsessed with helping you to not just dream it, but make the plan, connect the dots, and create what you crave. Are you ready? Let's get started. Hey friends, and Happy New Year. If you are a regular listener, thank you because you're listening to this on Monday when we drop it at 6 a.m. And if it's March, April, June, July, this is still going to be an exceptional podcast for you because I'm going to clear the clutter of manifesting, goal setting, passion planners, law of attraction, manifesting journals, whatever kind of system, goal setting, how we do it, how we shouldn't do it, that is cluttering your brain. We're going to clear it up today and give you a specific plan to move your business and your life goals forward. So let's get started. Before we do that, I want to read to you one of my favorite reviews that came in from DJ-Blaine. And she said, I knew of you, but not a whole lot. When I saw your name on Rob Sperry's podcast and was like, I have to check this out, that led me here, and I have listened to all of the episodes. I am blown away and truly inspired. So much of the content has spoken to me and lit or relit the fire in my heart. I know I want more out of life, and I have been feeling a little lost lately. Your podcast came at the right time. Thank you for sharing your heart and journey. So DJ Blaine, thank you so much. And I know exactly how you feel because I have been there. And I hope you're with us over in Camp Elevate. And please let me know who you are in real life so that we can connect over on Facebook Messenger or in the Instagram DMs. And I so appreciate the downloads, the reviews, the shares. This podcast was on my bucket list for 2019. And I have to tell you that it took almost 6 months for me to finally launch. And I was just chatting with my friend Christina before recording, and she's getting ready to launch her podcast. And she said, I just keep talking into the microphone and it doesn't sound like me. And so I want to tell you all in 2020, just be you, boo, on social media, in your business, how you plan, how you set your goals, how you want to show up, be you. Okay. And I sign my emails, be you bravely, because I think so much of the time we are so worried about what other people will think about us, how it's supposed to look, how we're supposed to post. Are we supposed to take that picture of our toes and say, working from my home office? How do you want to show up? How do you want to share your business? And that is what this podcast is about today. So let's get started. As we leave behind 2019, it's everywhere. Every podcast, the posts, the planners that are coming into your Facebook ads and your Instagram ad feeds, how to set goals, how to not set goals, how to manifest. There is so much information that sometimes I think we just stop. And it's the same way with building your business. Everybody's saying, okay, say your company, don't say your company, have a group, don't have a group, send this message, don't send the message, be in high vibration, don't send messages on days you're in a low vibrational state. If it's not with a three-way messenger chat or a three-way call, it's wrong, blah, 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 blah. Have you ever felt like all of these things? Imagine the conversation bubble over your head. Have you ever felt like there was so much noise you don't even know what to do? So 2019, this is what I'm asking you, and I'm going to do it as well, to leave behind. Leave behind the noise and the chaos, the comparison, the I wonder if I should journal this. What should I say? What should I do? And just be you. What feels good for you? Okay? So let's talk about that. We spend so much time with the number one block that happens is we have failure to launch or start. So as we look at setting goals, for example, in 2019, we're saying journal about what happened, journal about what went well, journal about what didn't go well, make a list of the things that made you so proud, and make a list of the things that you want to not repeat. Okay, so you might be in Facebook groups like mine. You might be in 17 different groups. And I notice I'll see people that are commenting all over the place. they're doing a challenge in one group, a challenge in the next group. And I used to be that person. I used to think I've got to hold on to all of the information. I've got to be doing what Ray Higdon says, what Rob Sperry says, what Tanya Eliza says. And over here we have another influencer and they're all so good, right? Everybody there's podcasts that every time I listen, and I'm like an oversharer, ask the women in my group, I'm like, hey, now we're listening to this podcast and check this out. That's great to be excited. But as you move forward in 2020, I want to ask you to decide what works for you and give yourself at least a quarter to stick with it. Find one mentor, find one podcast. Sure. I listen to all different varieties of podcasts, but if you're really, really into learning Instagram strategy and stories, and then you jump over and you're like, okay, now I'm going to learn to use Facebook groups to grow my business. And tomorrow I'm going to do this ask, add, tag, message thing. And then you're jumping back over to Instagram, but you're not following up with anything, then you're probably not seeing the growth. And I relate this to every single time, like this is totally me. And if you can relate, I'll see a friend. You guys, let's talk health for a second. We know what it takes to get fit and to be healthy. And I always have on my affirmations, I'm a size 6 healthy, lean athlete. Okay, I know what it takes to be a size 6 healthy, lean athlete. I absolutely, positively know. But it never, never, never fails that I see a friend who's having great weight loss success and she's looking super lean. And I'll be like, what are you doing? Who's your trainer? What program? Send it my way, send it my way, send it my way. Guess what? That's what happens in business. You know what to do. And the same thing with the forever search. You guys, right in front of me, I have 7 calendars. Because I'm obsessed with planners. So I have my law of attraction as one of them. My business coach, Susan Hyatt, has an incredible planner this year. That's the one I'm sticking with because when I have a coach, I'm going to use what she says to use. When I decide, all right, this is the person that I'm working with this year. So that's what I'm going to do is to follow through. And that's such great advice. So choose a planner. I mean, we could do it on a piece of notebook paper. Right? Choose a way that you're going to put the rocks into your planner. That's first and foremost. What are the rocks? What are the things that need to happen for you to live an aligned life with joy, purpose, and freedom? So make sure you know your rocks. It doesn't matter what planner you use. It doesn't matter if you're specific on your manifesting. I'm sorry, all the people out there that will say, I need this and more. It just matters that you've got the routines and the rituals, the rocks, meaning your marriage, your partnership with your spouse, your significant other, your children, your business, your health, and what's going to create an environment that gives you less stress. Those rocks have to be on your calendar. So make sure the rocks go on whatever calendar it is. Now, we have to have a destination. Right? A way to get to that destination. So we've got the rocks and we know what those are. Those are our priorities. You've got to know what those are. If you don't know your priorities for your business, for your health and wellness, your personal, that includes self-care. That includes, to me, your morning routine with your meditation, your devotions, your journaling, the things that it takes to keep your mind, body, and spirit alive. Those are your rocks. You are your first rock. So take care of that rock. All right. Now, what has to happen for your business? There are so many different mentors and ideas, but every single thing, most of you listening are network marketers. So I started to talk about the destination and I got a little squirrely. So we've got to know where we're going. All right. With all of these things, let's plan quarterly goals. I like to do things in 90-day spurts because we can get carried away, and we can also get carried away with a zillion things that we're going to take care of. It's like trying to clean up clutter. First, we start in the pantry, and then all of a sudden we've got things left out in the garage. And this is me. I'm very visual. I'm very intuitive. I'm not very list driven. So I'm going to work on that this year. But let's talk about the destination for each of these places. So we've got the calendar, we know our rocks, and now I'm going to ask you to choose 3 different goals, 1 goal in each area. Now, you may have a different way to do this, but humor me on this one. What would be 1 health and wellness goal, 1 goal for your well-being? And write that down. Where do you want to be? What's possible for you in the next 90 days? And then I want you to below it say, what are 3 actions that I can agree to take at least 5 days a week that will get me to that 1 goal? Now, same thing for business. So you may say, I want to make a multiple 6-figure income in 2020, and that's awesome. But let's break that down. And if you're a network marketer and you're thinking, what will that take? What are the pieces of your business that have to be there for you to make that income, for you to hit that rank, for you to have, I have a lot of coaches that listen. That's a lot easier because if you have a program that's a 6-month program that costs $2,500, you know how many people need to be enrolled into your program. Maybe you run some Facebook ads. It gets a little bit more complicated because you've got more expenses, but really take some time to say, if this is my goal, what are the things that I think? And if you need to ask somebody that's more experienced than you, be the squeaky wheel. Ask, what does it take to get to this level? What does it take? So that business goal. And then I want you to have your personal goal. So that would be, I have 3 different clients right now that have said to me, without me even saying personal, that one of their big areas of focus in working with me in my Profit Her Way program is to have a better, closer, more connected relationship with their husband. All right, so that was a huge goal for me in 2019. And I had 3 action steps that I took a day for that to happen. And many of you have heard about the dog walks, like the dog walks phone free twice a day, 60 minutes. You guys, it was miraculous. It was like we were dating again. Also visualizing, so bringing in my woo side, visualizing and having gratitude around that human being. Okay. And seeing all of the good things, not being annoyed with the bad things, and using breath work and all of those pieces. We talk about a lot of that in the podcast. So whether you're the passion planner or the law of attraction, or I'm looking at my newest journal, which is called, what is this thing called? Let me see the name of it. It was super expensive. It's got power sheets. I don't even know what it's called. It's got some great goal setting sheets, but there are so many things on Pinterest about setting goals that you can just go and grab for free. But here's the deal. You've got to know the destination, and then you've got to know the steps that you're willing to take to get there, or the steps that you are committing to take, and don't let yourself down. That's the piece is we say, I'm going to lose 35 pounds in 2020, and I'm going to help my family to financial freedom. So break it down. What do we need to do in those first 90 days? What can we wake up to do, and what will it take in our routines and rituals to get to that place? So that is the answer. That's the answer to all of your goal setting issue. Is many of you will do visualization exercises, and I highly recommend good visualization of, once you know those goals, breathing in, breathing out, seeing it, see where you are at the end of those 90 days, see how it feels. What will it sound like when you're on that stage getting that rank award? Or what will it feel like when you open up your commission report and there is an amount of money that is just what you've manifested and what you've visualized happening? When you ask for these things, you can always ask for and more, or and beyond. There's all different ways. I mean, many of you study Gabby Bernstein. Many of you study lots of different people that are in that. There's that awesome podcast, The Manifestation Babe. So there's so many different ways to do it, but don't get caught up in finding the perfect way to manifest and the perfect way to ask the universe and the perfect way to do the morning routine. Let's break it down, and then we're going to cut this off. Is you deserve everything that you desire in 2020. Say that. I deserve, and I am open, and I am creating everything I desire in 2020. I truly believe that the subconscious and conscious mind, if you continue to say, there's too much information, I'm too overwhelmed, this doesn't work, all of those pieces are what you've got to be sure that you're speaking in a positive vibe. I'm on the way. I'm ready to create. I'm ready to hit that destination. If you say things like, I don't know what I want, I don't know what to do, it's clouding. Those blocks are clouding your clarity. So believe that it's possible. That's the first thing, is no matter what calendar you use, no matter what goal you set, do you believe that it's possible? If I didn't believe that being a size 6 lean athlete for my health and my wellness, and honestly, because I'm vain and I want to look good and I feel better and I'm more confident, if I didn't believe it was possible, then I would sabotage those results. So believe that it's possible. The other block that people become, clients, friends, me, one of the reasons why I didn't launch a coaching program until 2019. And let me tell you how excited I am for Profit Her Way and how excited I am for our real life camp event that's going to come up. So stay tuned. We'll get you on that list. But it's because I was overwhelmed with what it would take. Overwhelmed with what it would take. And the other thing is, what will people think? So getting in the way of the perfect goal setting plan, of the perfect desire, of the perfect, we talk about, yes, visualize. Yes, I want you to know your end game. And yes, I want you to have your affirmations written. And we've talked about morning routines, and we've talked about all of these things, the goals, the 3 steps that it takes, having accountability, not getting distracted with all of the 17, 18, 19,000 different ways to do it. But if you believe that it's not possible, that is a huge block. Do you believe it's possible? The other thing that gets in my way, it gets in everybody's way. It was one of the big reasons why I didn't launch that coaching program, because it was a little bit out of the ordinary to have a coaching program along with leading a large team and keeping it totally separate from the other. My coaching program is completely on the outside of my network marketing business. And also, it is a big responsibility to have people want to be mentored and actually pay money to do that. And I am one of the biggest advocates. I have spent, at least since I started my business, and this number might shock you, I've spent over $100,000 in my own personal development and coaching. And I'm not advocating that you can't do it without. It was just, I love to learn. I love to be mentored. I love accountability. So there's many people that do it without, but that is a big piece of who I am, is always growing and learning. So are you worried about what people will think about what you desire? Do you believe it's possible? And you have to work on that belief over and over and over again. The other thing is, are you overwhelmed with what it will take? And a big block that I find is your brain wants to focus, because we're still like prehistoric. And I'm not a brain research guru, but I've done enough personal development and reading to know that our brain is conditioned to think about what's going to go wrong. Is the lion going to sneak up and eat me? Are we going to run out of food? We no longer have those issues. So we have to recondition our brain to get clear on what is going to go right. And be a little more clear on, not, I want to have unlimited money, but what does that mean? What does rich sound like to you? Does that mean freedom? Does it mean having options for your family? Does it mean unlimited travel? And getting clear on those options. So what we want to be looking at as we go in to 2020 are those 3 goals, the 3 action steps, and how we're using our brain conditioning to make sure that we visualize it, that we work on the affirmations, and that we put the big rocks on our calendar, and that we do, drum roll please, the action that it takes. So I am a true believer in manifestation. I have manifested a lot of things. I manifested the man that I'm married to. I manifested the marriage that I have, the house that I live in, the business that I have, and even the coach that I'm working with and the program that I'm building. But what I want you to know about all of that is, after the visualization and after knowing the destination and after deciding how I was going to get there and how you're going to get there, takes imperfect action. We might not always do it perfectly, but being in action, getting out of overwhelm. I have people that are still shopping for their calendar. They're still asking, which one should I use? So stop the scroll and get into action and put that rock on your calendar. When you know what your personal goals are, your health goals, your relationship goals, your business goals, when you know what those are, how will you get there? And I'm going to give you a little bonus to the end of this episode because I wanted to make sure I'm right at 25 minutes. So I had a question today that came into my inbox from one of my good friends. His name is Jason Stewart, and he's always learning. He's always absorbing. He's always asking questions. And he said to me, if you could tell me one thing that you wish you would have done differently on your way to the top rank of the company, on your way to becoming an industry millionaire, what would that be? And I thought, okay, I'm going to pause for a minute. And then he also asked, what's your daily method of operation? And many of you over in Camp Elevate know that I just gave everybody a free daily intentional planning sheet. So I'm going to give that a little plug right now. And then I'm going to go into what I would have done differently. And it has all to do with what we're talking about on this episode. So the daily intentional plan is basically my daily plan for how I have grown my entire business. So I have a download for you and it's free. It's at bethholdengraves.com/plan. And you're going to get this. You're going to be like, wait, I don't know how to fill this out because it doesn't give you instructions. I'm going to work on a blog post that has the instructions on it, but I have a video where it's a Zoom and we did a campfire over in Camp Elevate. So if you want to know what my actual daily intentional plan, it's a calendar sheet that you actually put it next to your hour by hour. You can grab that and then get over in the Camp Elevate group. Let me know, send me a DM that says, hey, tag me in the training. I'm going to put this training all together so you can actually get it. But for now, trust me, you want to know what that daily intentional plan is because you guys, I just keep it so simple. And I'm going to tell you right now that on that, we talk about the rocks. We talk about the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 that I have used to build my business. We talked about that on the episode with Rob Sperry. And that will be your bonus, your Happy New Year gift. And I'm going to be doing another training on the daily intentional plan in Camp Elevate. And it is all free. And you guys, summer camp for women, we are having so much fun. The sisterhood in that group is insane. I have had last week, if you go over to the Camp Elevate Instagram page, you can see that we highlight a camper every week and they talk about camp. And it's a dream of mine, you guys. I have waited to go back to summer camp because that has been my favorite place on earth. Shout out to Black River Farm and Ranch and all my BR girlfriends. If you had a summer camp, I want to hear about it on Instagram. And I dreamed of a summer camp for business. And for the answer to the question that Jason had, what would you have done differently? I worked really, 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 really hard. And I worked in a focused way when I knew what my goal was. And I knew what I wanted to create. And I was very specific about it. But I would have been a whole lot better about the self-care, health, personal goal portion. And so what I would have done is to have put into my calendar those hours that were unplugged with my son, with my daughter, at the gym, and taken better care of the glass balls. And if you haven't heard the glass ball episode, that's one of my very first ones. And I think that's what I would have done differently. I mean, I when he said that, and then he also asked me what I would have continued to do. And staying in motion is always so important. So when I talked about choose one mentor, choose one way, one of the things that happened along the way was I got off track by thinking I needed to do something exceptional. Like, oh, hey, if I build this, so I'll give you an example. I felt guilty as charged to thinking that there was a way to build it without the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 personal connection, personal conversations, and personally helping people to hit their goals when they get rolling. And one of the biggest pieces that I can brag about is the community and the culture. We have it over in Camp Elevate, and we also have it with my personal network marketing team. And it's because I'm super hands-on. And I kept thinking, because I would remember this episode is about finding the planner, finding the system that works. I'd be like, I'd see all this like be automated, never talk to your family and friends, get 78,000 leads with one opt-in. So I thought, maybe I should learn some systems to help some people on my team. And that would be cool to wake up in the morning with an inbox full of people. And really what happens is I became distracted by thinking that there was another way instead of just getting better at what was already working. And so what was already working was providing value on social media, having a ton of connection, creating community and engagement inside of challenge groups around our product or around the business model, and just shutting my mouth and listening to people and asking questions and then asking. And that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5 conversations that see if someone's open, but not just like, hey, girl type of messages, really, really connecting in a way that sees if this is a good fit for them. So 5, and then 4 follow-up, staying with your customers, staying with the people that are interested, following up, providing value, providing more information. 3 social media posts a day, 3 things in my stories that are constantly engaging and interacting with other people, pulling people toward me because the right people will come your way if the pull is there. Remember Digital Persuasion with Erin King. She does incredible trainings on this on Instagram, and I would encourage you to follow her and get her book, Digital Persuasion. It's great for marketing. And then adding 2 to the list today. Remember, that is the 2. And consistently making 2 new connections a day on social media, in real life, getting 2 people added, because our job, if we're in sales, if we're networking, is to add people into our circle, invite them in. So on like this podcast level, this podcast has invited people into my life, into my training, which is Growing Camp Elevate, right? And then some people are like, hey, I really want to take it to the next level and work with a private coach, or I need a supportive sisterhood, or I just need somebody to listen to that's a little kooky, that's willing. I think some of my charm is that I'm kind of willing to say what other people aren't willing to say. I don't know. It's kind of always been my charm. So get rid of the overwhelm in 2020. And there's so much good stuff. There's so many good mentors. There's so many good guides. But instead of being in 27 different groups, doing 27 different things, following 27 different people, choose one voice to listen to. I'd be honored if you decided, hey, I'm going to get over to Camp Elevate. But there's so many different ways to build your business. But be focused on the activity and the actions, on the mindset, on what I call like the brain discipline to get away from, I'm so overwhelmed. I've run out of people to talk to. Nobody wants what I have. I don't think anybody hits the top rank of the company anymore. If I only had the upline support. You guys, cut it out. It is available to you in 2020. You get to make the decision. You get to put the rocks on your calendar, the important things. You get to decide how you are going to show up. How are you going to show up for yourself? Nobody is standing there. And I always say this, like when we talk about the health and wellness goals, nobody is standing there like spoon feeding me chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream. That's my choice. Nobody is standing there giving you overwhelm or not doing your business. That's your choice. It is available to you. It is available for you to have a business that's calm, that's cool, that's flowing. Have that declaration. And we're going to be working this week. And if it's not January, we're always working on writing declarations for our business and for our life. And I want you to think about, what do you declare to be possible in 2020? And that's the one thing that I'll ask of you, and I'll share a couple declarations here. I was actually listening to another podcast, and I always like to give credit where credit is due. And this one was from Project Me with Tiffany, and she was talking about declarations. And one of the declarations that she stated, and she talks about, you can go on over and listen to the podcast. It's awesome. And she talks about having declaration cards, using a color that feels powerful to you. And this is I know I just said, don't follow a million people, but I wanted to share the declarations. And I feel so strongly about not, making something that somebody else's my own. And so I did want to shout her out. And what she said was, decide what you declare instead of a resolution. So we are going to end 2019 with just, first of all, I'll share the declarations as I close this out, but I want to say how incredibly grateful and honored and blessed I feel that you are listening, whether you're at the gym, whether you're in your car, whether you're just out walking the dogs. You have made a choice out of thousands and thousands of podcasts and thought leaders and guides and people that just decide to start a podcast. You've made a choice to listen and to be a part of this community with all of us. And I feel like, honestly, I'm all teary. Those of you that know me know I cry at the drop of a hat. And I hope to know you personally. That is my goal in 2020 is I am an in-person hugger. And I just visualize sitting around a campfire with you, having my friend Leslie and Diane, they don't even know it yet, but I'm manifesting them, sing some Dixie Chicks, maybe some John Denver, and for us to do this work together. Because I want nothing more than for all of you listening to have what you desire, to have what you deserve, as we all just expand our bank accounts, expand our joy, and expand our impact. So my wish for you is everything you desire in 2020. And I promise you this, I will bring to you my best, and I will get you the best of everyone. So these are some of the declarations I want to close out that over with Project Me with Tiffany that she shared. That's a great podcast. And I'm going to do this tonight. I'm going to write down my declarations. And she said, I declare that everything I deeply desire and deserve is going to come to me with ease, joy, and clarity. Another one that she shared was, I declare that all of the amazing abundance and goodness of the world will shower upon me every day in 2020. So make your declaration, make it yours. I'm working on mine. Make it pretty with the power color, a color that just makes you feel that your vibration, that your energy is high. I want you to know that everything you desire is yours. And then share a picture of that with me over at camp, share it in the DMs. And as always, thank you so much for being with me today. I cannot wait for 2020 because we have so many incredible and awesome things that we are going to accomplish together. Here's just a quick reminder before you head on your way that the Profit Her Way Mastermind enrollment is open. I want to make sure you get on that list so you do not miss the bonuses that are coming to those that have signed up for the first week launch. So head on over to bethholdengraves.com/profit. Get yourself scheduled for a call with me, but make sure you reach out to me in the DMs and let me know that you're interested and you want more information so that we make sure that you are in and ready to go. Because working together with a coach, with accountability, with an actual system and method for building profit your way is going to help you accelerate and go even faster in 2020. Thank you so much for hanging with me today on the podcast. And remember, you can create what you crave. If you're looking for a supportive sisterhood, I would love to see you over in our free Facebook group. As most of you know, I love camp. It's part of You're Not the Boss of Me, because when we're building this thing, we're doing this thing, we need a supportive sisterhood. And I also crave more fun and more connection. Join us at camp over in the Facebook world, thecampelevategroup.com, or just click on the link below, and we will see you around our campfire and help you to create what you crave.